Michael O'Shea. Yes. So it is nice to have you here because we like to we like to hear different theories, different things. Like there are a lot of people who have gone through programs
Mm-hmm.
and um, um, they have stopped stuttering. And these
Mm-hmm.
people are people that were um, I would say severe stutters,
Okay.
right? And they can speak
Mm-hmm.
smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
One is Michael O'Shea.
Okay,
He had
great.
a stutter, and now Michael speaks speaks very fluently. You know, but it is going to be great to just hear your background. And one thing I'd like to hear is most people want to want you to take them from where they are now to where you are in fluency. So they want to hear that you was somebody who stuttered just like we stuttered. You had issues in childhood, just like we had. So I want to hear your story. I'm going to give you the platform. I want for you to tell your story first, and then I'd like for you to explain stuttering from your perspective. You know, um, and then I wanted for you to go into your that depart method, and then we'll have questions. Plus, I want to hear some of your success stories.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you the floor. So I want you to introduce yourself and just give us a brief
Sure.
history of your background from stuttering to fluency where you are now.
Sure. So thank you so much. I already have your question set, so I can refer to this for discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So hello everyone. My name is Ankush Pare. I am basically from India. I speak Hindi language, English, and my mother tongue language, which is Marathi. I had a stuttering issue. People called it as a stammering in other term. I had this problem from my childhood. It is not by birth. My father used to speak very fast, and that's the reason I copied him. And then it started with the fumbling. So when I say fumbling, I started with the repetition of words, for, papa, like those. And then it started like I feel like it is an embarrassment moment for me when I speak in front of people. They started laughing at me how he is able to speak like this. So I became introvert. I tried to avoid the situations. Then it becomes like a self doubt in my mind. I used to hide words, I used to hide situations, avoid situations. And then after I became introvert person in my college life, I still remember in all those interviews, vivas, the oral examination, I used to fail it most of the time, because when someone asked me my question, so I used to stammer or stutter on specific words. So this journey started with a fumbling issue. It increases with my doubts in my mind. I created my own imagination. I started playing my own game of hiding words, and then slowly, gradually it increases with age. And at one point of time, when I finally graduate from college, I had no job and nothing in my hand, just the only degree with me to survive in real life. So I decided to overcome it anyhow. At that time in India, we had a limited access to internet, and now everyone can access to the internet. So I decided to search for my speech problem. I even don't know the word stammering or a stuttering. When I was 16-year old, or I can say 18 years old, I started searching for a word similar to in a Hindi language. I get to know this is a stammering problem. And I found some videos on YouTube, on some blogs on internet. and they were claiming like there is no uh, cure for it and there is no solution exact, you need to manage it. But then I thought like, if I don't stammer at home alone, then why I stammer in front of people? So then this question stuck in my mind, and then I get to know something about me, that I stammer because of my breathing change. Sometimes I stammer because of my self doubt. Sometimes I stammer because of my excitement, and it doesn't happen in all the situations. It happens in some situations. Let's say the interview, presentation, oral examination, public speaking in front of some stranger over a call. I experience my pattern is changing with some area, whereas my pattern change with other areas. So I can remember I am playing lot of character in those days. I used to speak fluent when I was alone or in front of my family member, whereas I used to stutter or I used to hide those words in front of my friends or strangers. So I became like an actor in my life. I used to play the game of hiding words, avoiding the situations. So this was my story till the age of 21. And one day I decided it is not happening, it is not going good in my life. I need to overcome it anyhow, because this impacted my life in my college life. Uh, so I used to avoid presentation, I didn't got any job offer because of stammering. But when I decided to overcome it, it took me almost 9 months to 1 year to overcome this problem. I did lot of practices, including the lion roaring practice, which is very important practice. If you want to overcome the lion roaring practice, is important. There are some breathing exercises that Indian people or yoga follow. There are some exercises, I can say the reading exercises, which I followed. It doesn't help me 100%, but it helped me some extent to manage my stammering somehow. Then with my confidence, with my courage, with my belief that this will overcome anyhow, I used to face people every day, and those failures helped me a lot to understand why I'm failing there. I used to go there again, face the situation again, and it is helping me to create my own pattern of fluency. So I still remember I used to face the situation again and again and again, and this failure helping me to success for the next time, which is helping me to understand the pattern of speaking there without stammering. So likewise, I understood the pattern. So I understood the pattern in every area of my life. Wherever I used to stutter or stammer, I understood one pattern, that it is helping me to speak fluently. So when I repeat the pattern again and again, it became my habit of speaking. So the way I am speaking now, it is advanced version of me, as compared to my past. I can say when I was 21-year old, currently I'm 33-year old, and those 12 years in my life, I spoke over a stage. I spoke over a call, and I used to face lot of strangers. Uh, Today also, I don't practice. I only focus more on implementation, because those implementation exercises or implementation is helping me to improve my speech every day. So this was my short introduction with my story, that how it became and how I able to overcome this problem, because I never thought like this will not overcome. I always thought like this will overcome anyhow, because why I don't stammer at home, and this is helping me, this helped me a lot, this question helped me a lot to go further and experience the same fluency in other situations. So that's this was my I can say experience from childhood till now in a short way.
Yes, thanks. Thank you for your introduction. Now I want to hear um, 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 what are your thoughts? Give us a little bit of give us some understanding of your views
Okay.
on stuttering. Yeah,
So
from
I
your
think,
perspective.
yeah. So I think stuttering or a stammering is a output. That's it. It is a output and it has inputs. So inputs can be your breathing. If your breathing change, you experience your output change. If your speed change, you experience your output change. So whenever, so let's take an example of a stammering and a fluency. Both are output. People can see the output. People can hear the output. People can experience it that you are speaking fluently or you are having a stammering. This is visible part. But what is invisible is the input behind it. So the inputs are like a root causes. So like we were discussing the root causes. So person don't stammer or stutter. There must be some root causes behind it. So when you don't stammer, when you are alone, the reason might be your breathing is normal. The reason is there is no one to watch you how you are speaking. It means there is no audience near to you and you become your audience. So when you become your audience in your mind, we called it as a self talk concept. And in a self talk, we don't stammer or stutter. Whereas when we change our audience, let's say this is a Zoom meeting and I'm discussing with you, and here I can see four people are my audience. But what is my logic with the fluency is I don't consider you four people as my audience because my first audience is me while speaking, which help me to speak like a self talk in all the situations. So if I say that the secret behind stuttering to overcome is very simple, when you change your audience, it changes the perspective of speaking. So this is the first thing that I think I would highlight here, that stuttering is a output. So when you change the audience, your output change. So when your audience is you, you experience fluency as an output, whereas when your audience is someone else, your output is stuttering. Most of the people have experienced this. So it is a output. The second, I think stuttering is a habit of speaking, or I can say it is a bad habit of speaking. So when I say it is a bad habit of speaking, I consider that from your past life you repeat lot of speech mistakes, starting with the word hiding. If you hide your words again and again, now it becomes your habit of hiding the words. And when you hide the word, it becomes automatic pattern inside you. And automatically you started hiding those words. And when it becomes your habit, it is next to impossible for you to change the pattern until and unless you know the new pattern which can replace the old pattern. So it is a game of habit and it is a game of uh, replacing the old pattern with the new pattern. So the next definition from my side about the stuttering, that it is a habit, it is a bad habit of speaking, and fluency, it is a good habit of speaking. So most of the people, they stammer once in a lifetime and they forget about it. But some people, they have a bad experience about their stuttering, or there might be chance they took this small problem and they create it as a bigger problem in their life. So when they consider this as a bigger problem, their thought leads to feeling and feeling leads to action. You are manifesting your stammering in your thoughts first, and then in reality when you experience the same, you get a proof behind it that okay, this is happening with me, it means I have some problem. And when you search on internet, people claim there is no overcome, there is no cure. But in the first place, there was no problem with you, you created it firstly inside your mind. So it happens first in your mind, you create the imagination, then when you go in reality, you experience the proof there that you stammer there, you stutter there, which leads to as a proof, and it is a proof where you consider that I have this problem. But I consider this is just a output, because in those area, in those situation, you are having a breathing issue, you are having some fear issue or you might have some doubt issue, this inputs leads to stammering, which can happen with any person. It is not you that stammer. All the actors, all the politicians, all the leaders stammer once in a lifetime, but then they ignore it. Most of the actors, they fumble, they stammer when they play a script in front of camera, but it is their job to speak again and again. But for us, we hide those situations and then it becomes your bigger problem. So I think this is my definition behind the stuttering. It is output, it is a habit, it is because of you manifest your stammering. You should stop it immediately. You should think like you are a fluent speaker from now onward, and you will find the opportunity to become a fluent speaker. It is near to you, but you are not able to find because in your mind you always think like a you have a stammering issue. So this is my definition of stammering.
Yes, and what I would also like for you to do is touch on the neurological side of stuttering, psychological. You did talk about the behavior aspect. What are your thoughts on the neurological side of, how they say that some stuttering can be genetic, or what are your thoughts on the neurological side of
Okay, so I'm not an expert in neurological concept, but I can help you understand with the concept from a language perspective. So I
it? Right,
speak Indian English. You
right,
people speak US English. So we have a
right. We
different style of speaking. The language is similar, the language is same English, but the accent, the pronunciation, the speed is different. So it defines your language. So if I want to speak like you, I need to capture the speed first. I need to capture the accent, the mouth opening, the tongue location, and everything. So when I say about the neurological issue, so some people, their language demands speed of speaking. So sometime when you speak with the speed, you sometime having a breathing change issue. When your breathing change, you experience you stammer or stutter sometime. So this might be possible that people consider it is a hereditary problem. It came from your mother or father, but it is not. If I ask you a question, why you speak only English language or why you speak your mother tongue, it is not because it is a inherited, because your mother or father was speaking those language in front of you when you were a baby, and you used to copy that language, and still you are speaking the same language, and your children will also speak the same language the way you will speak. So it is something I call it as a copy paste concept. So people copy paste languages. So in language, sometimes people copy paste the stammering also, and this happens with most of the people. So I'm not sure about the neurological, but I can tell you this is the example where people, the language might be the reason, or the language or the speech, where father or mother had a speech problem, their children might copy those problem. But it, I am not saying that this is not possible to solve. If mother or father able to reduce the speed or able to control the speed, the children will also copy paste the same language. So this is my point of view about the neurological or this concept.
Okay, so let's go into your what I call the solution, your proven techniques um that we are calling the depart method. I want you to explain what that is, talk about each step of it.
Okay. So I need to share my screen here to explain this topic, because most of the people uh, have the belief that there is no cure for this problem. But my strong belief is this problem can be easily, you can solve very easily if you know the right pattern. So I will share the screen, and in that screen I will explain this topic about my technique, and these techniques are very easy to follow for each and everyone. So let me explain you the very easy way to solve this problem. Uh, the way I help people to solve their stammering or stuttering problem. So I design a concept called as a stuttering algorithm. So this is something I called it as a code which run inside your mind. So this code when run inside your mind provide you the same output as a fluency in all the situations. So you need to first understand how to write your own code of fluency, because stuttering is also a code which you execute in your mind, which provide you the output as a stammering or a stuttering. So to write your own code, you must know three factors. As my point of view, the first factor is a speaking rule. So like a traffic rules, if you follow traffic rules, the chances are the accident will not happen if everyone follows a traffic rule. Same is here with the speaking rule. So if you follow speaking rule, the chances are the accident, the blockage will not happen. You can avoid those blockages. The second area here, I called it as a precaution area. So there are some precautions that you must follow to avoid the stammering. The third area, I called it as a technique area, the speech technique that speech therapist or SLP or coaches teach to their client about the techniques. So some people follow the area where they help people with the technique. If you combine all these three concepts together and play this code inside your mind, it will help you to solve your stammering or stuttering in all the situation. So let's take an example now. If I want to use the speaking rule and precaution, this will be the area. Let's consider this area as a area number 1 for me. The next area is a speaking rule and technique. So this is the area for speaking rule and technique. So I consider this as a area number 2. And with the combination of all three, this is the area. I call this area as area number 3. And I call it as a manage. So to overcome, to solve your stuttering, first of all, you need to manage it. If you don't know how to manage it, it is impossible for you to solve it. So first thing first, you need to focus on small wins, because when people started practicing at home and when they experiencing the stuttering in real life, they thought like it is impossible to overcome this problem through practices. But first of all, you need to understand, you need to manage it first. So let me help you with the structure. So to overcome this problem from your life, or and I can say to cure it from your life, it is possible. Let me help you through the diagrams, and it is very easy to understand. There are 4 steps here. First is identify root causes behind your stuttering. You don't stammer, there must be some root causes behind it. So the root cause can be your self doubt. This is not the perfect root cause, this is the example to identify root cause. So some people have stammering or a stuttering problem because they have self doubt before speaking. Some people experience the anxiety before speaking. Some people experience because of speed they stutter, and there might be other reason. So to go further in this journey, before even you start practicing, you first learn how to identify the real problem behind your stuttering. Because I told you before that stuttering is just a output, it is just a habit, and behind the habit, behind the output, there are a lot of inputs. So this is input and this is output. So stutter is the output, whereas the root causes are the inputs. So when you understand the root causes, it is very easy for you to practice as per root causes. So I claim the next concept as speech practice is a trap. So most of the people think they should practice for a lifetime, but I think it is a trap. It is a trap because you are practicing in a wrong way, or you don't know why you are practicing. Just because someone is asking you to practice because they have experience that when they practice they are able to manage it, that's why you are practicing. But they are practicing based on their root causes. So first of all, you need to identify your root causes. And when you identify your root causes, let's say your root cause is self doubt and you are practicing for a reading, then it is a wrong practice that you are following. So it is a trap behind this stammering. So first of all, the speech practices, before you do, you need to identify the root causes behind it, and you must practice as per the root causes. So it means if you are having a self doubt issue, then why you are practicing reading, or why you are having the mirror practice daily? It is wasting your time. So this is my first approach: practice less, but you must practice the right way, or I can say right practice makes man perfect. So right practice you must identify, and to identify the right practice you must know the right root causes, and the root causes are inputs for the stuttering, whereas stuttering is a output. So this is my first stage behind the overcome or the cure stage. Now the second stage is to manage stage. So when you want to overcome your stuttering, first of all you need to manage it. So there comes the concept called as a small wins. You must win small sentence. If you speak 100 words and you stammer on 50 words, today you only stammer on 40 words, you able to speak those 10 words, it means it is a small wins. It is helping you to motivate yourself for next day. But most of the people, they think like, if they are not having a good day today, it means they will also have the same bad day tomorrow. But if you focus on small wins, which is possible through the technique, through the precaution, through the speaking rules, if you able to manage it in some area, it will give you the motivation or confidence to go ahead with consistency. So second is manage area. Third comes the overcome area. And fourth come the cure area. So let me help you: the manage area, the overcome area, and the cure area through the stuttering algorithm. So stuttering algorithm has a code. So you need to decide, or you need to create your code. So these three areas are important here. So speaking rule, precaution, and technique. And this is we called as a manage area. So let's take an example. You stutter at your home, you stutter over a call, you stutter on a stage, you stutter in front of stranger. If you start having practice, if you practice at home with respect to your root causes using the speaking rule, you follow precaution and you know the technique, you can easily manage your stuttering here. And when you start managing your stuttering here, you start creating a pattern here. Now, the pattern word is very important when you overcome the stuttering. So, let me help you what is pattern and how you can develop your own fluency pattern. So, let's take an example. This is the fluency, this is the stuttering. This is fluency, this is stuttering, this is fluency. You don't stutter in all the situation. You stutter in specific situation. You don't stutter on all words. You stutter on specific words. So when the specific words come, this is the pattern that you follow. And when there is no specific word or the situation is comfortable, you follow this pattern. It means you speak fluent here, but you stammer here. You speak fluent here, you stammer, and you experience it every time. But what if you solve this pattern here and this line will see like this? So this is the fluency for me. So to get the fluency to solve this problem permanently from your life, you must understand how to replace this pattern with new pattern, and I call this pattern as manage pattern. So this is the pattern. I called it as a manage pattern. When you replace this pattern, this is the default pattern where you stutter. If you replace this with this pattern, manage pattern, you can easily able to get some result here. Result here. And these small wins can help you to gain confidence. So slowly, you started speaking in all those situations little bit fluent, more fluent than before, and it will help you to get to the closer of overcome stage. Now let me help you with the overcome stage. So overcome means, let's take an example using the comfort zone and uncomfort zone. So we have a two types of zone. First is a comfort zone and second is a uncomfortable zone or uncomfort zone. So in comfort zone, you speak fluent. Whereas in uncomfort zone, you stutter. So let's take an example. This is your comfort zone. And this is your uncomfort zone. So it means when you speak at home alone, this is a comfort zone. You speak very fluent. But when you go outside, you speak in front of stranger, you stutter. In an interview, you stutter. Over a call, you stutter. Because you will notice one thing, the pattern here and the pattern here are different. But when you understand this pattern in a comfort zone and when you copy paste the same pattern as it is, when I say the pattern, I say two, three concept here. The first is copy your breathing state as it is. It means play the character of fluent speaker in all the area where you stutter. So your breathing should be normal as per the comfort zone. Your speed should be normal as per the comfort zone. Your body should be comfortable as per the comfort zone, and your voice should be, I can say, confident to speak like a comfort zone. So when you create this, let's say consider this as a character concept. So let's create your own character of fluency, the same character you are playing when you are alone. So imagine when you play the same character in all those uncomfort zone in your life, what will happen? You will get the same result as when you are at home, and this will help you to speak better than before, because in your mind you are not a stutterer, but in your mind you are a person who speak fluent, because you know the inputs behind fluency. And the input behind fluency is breathing, speed, body, voice, or your doubts, or I can say no doubts, or I can say the positive self talk, anything. So when you play the same here, you will notice that your area of comfort is increasing. And when I say overcome stage, the overcome stage is very simple. So when you able to make your uncomfort zone as your comfort zone, you win the war here inside you. It means when your uncomfort zone become your comfort zone, it means in this world all the situations are comfortable for you. The people who speak fluent, all the situation for them are like a comfort zone. So for example, a public speaker, for the first time he or she might have a speech problem over a stage, but when he or she repeat again and again, the stage become comfortable, and now over a stage they speak very fluent. Same for you, when you repeat again and again the same pattern, the situations become comfortable for you. And when you repeat the overcome concept in all the situation in your life, and there is no specific situation where you stutter now, I called it as a cure concept. Because people say they speak fluent at home, they speak fluent over a call, but they are not able to overcome it in front of stranger. It means they think like there is no cure, but they are missing one thing, that they are not repeating the same pattern in front of stranger again and again, so that the stranger become comfort zone for them. It means when all the situation, all the area become comfort zone for them, like they speak alone at home, I called it as a cure concept. It is very simple. So let's take my example. This meeting is not a first time that I am speaking. I speak normally on a YouTube live. I do lot of Zoom sessions daily. I do lot of public speaking speech most of the time. I attend all the calls. I speak fluently every day. It means in my mind, my mindset is telling me every day that you are speaking fluent. It means from the morning till night I don't have any doubts before I speak, because my mind knows that from last 12 years I don't stammer, and now my mind has accepted me as I don't stammer in all the situations, because in past my experience with those situations are fluent speaking. So this is my approach behind the cure concept. And people, when they say there is no cure for stuttering, I should ask them a question, that in which area you still struggle. So please solve those area, change your pattern, get the experience, get the fluency, and then tell me about your cure concept. Because when you speak fluent in all the situation, I can say there is a cure for stuttering. And stuttering is not a disease, and the cure word itself is a mis uh, understood word, because the cure concept people find it irritating. But for me, if you don't think that there is a 100% solution for it, and if you think I can only overcome 90%, then all your efforts will go only for 90%. That 10% will still remain in your mind, because in your mind you always telling yourself there is no cure for stuttering. So I think this is my way of thinking about this topic. So you need to first identify the root causes, then manage it using the stuttering algorithm, or I can say speaking rule, precaution, and techniques, speech techniques, then overcome it. And when you overcome in all the situation, I call it as a cure concept. So that's it from my side.
I want to hear some of your success stories with your methods. What is your success rate, and what are people saying about it?
Okay, so first thing first, when people join my course, so I I'm very uh, I am a person who always filter people before they join the course, because I find most of the people are not ready for the implementation. So they want to be in their comfort zone. When I ask them to go outside and speak with stranger, they always provide the reason that I'm not ready now. It means The first thing is, I claim that there is a 90 up to 95% result in just 21 days, the overcome result. Because when I help them with the knowledge, my team help them with the practices and real life implementation. I provide them the tools and resources, platform to speak every day. We provide feedbacks and everything. Then people can experience the fluency in real life. But first thing first, the mindset of a next person. If the person don't want to go out of comfort zone, then the training will not provide the best result. So this is the first thing I mostly follow when I ask people to join. The second thing, the success ratio. There are 2 to 5% chances that the client will not get expected result because of some reason. The reason number one, he or she is not attending all the sessions that I follow. I teach them the techniques, and when they don't follow the techniques, because all techniques are interrelated, interconnected. So when I say speaking rule has a concept called as a one word at a time, mouth opening as per vowel, stretching, while stretching speak the word, jawline should not go downside. This is the basic thing that everyone must follow, because when you follow the basic speaking rule, the chances are the stammering will reduce immediately. The next is a precaution. Your breathing should be normal before even you speak. Even I say like this, that speaking is not important, breathing is most important. When your breathing is normal, you can speak fluently in all the situation. So breathing should be normal. I can say you must be your own audience while speaking. The way I am speaking now, I can even listen to my words, every word from the beginning. The way you are listening to me, I can still able to listen to my every word. This is my way, where I can say you must follow the concept of listening, or I can say this is a self talk concept in all the situation. So if the person follow this concept. And the third is a speech technique. Some people experience blockages if they follow blockage technique. I teach them the blockage technique, how to reduce the anxiety, how to speak out the word without stuttering. Because people don't stutter. So people stutter because of anxiety first, maybe because of self doubt, maybe because of some specific words. So they must know the foundation of every word. So let's take an example. If you are having a speech issue on vowels, so vowels are very simple to speak. You just need to open your mouth and that's it. So A, E, I, O, U, your mouth opens, it doesn't close. So when you know how to open your mouth effectively as per vowel, the chances are you can able to speak very effectively. So the concept like a blockage technique, the concept like the express impress technique, this express impress techniques is very effective technique. I created it by myself to practice in front of to practice for a public speaking. The technique work like this. So let's imagine you are going on a stage for the first time and your heartbeat increases. So you can't impress people with this anxiety. You need to first reduce the anxiety. So express mode, you should know how to manage your anxiety. Then when your anxiety is reduced, then you can easily impress the people. It means it is a balance between your anxiety. It is a balance between your stammering and I can say public speaking concept. The concept is a M2E2 concept. So most of the people have a problem with some specific word, but I can tell you with my guarantee that if the word which you stammer or stutter in real life, it doesn't mean it happens in only real life. It happens first in your mind. You first stutter inside your mind, then you stutter in real life. It means you first overcome the word inside your mind, then you can easily overcome in real life. So first comes as a mind concept. You first overcome your stuttering inside your mind. Second, you overcome your stuttering with a muscle concept. All our muscles has a habit. Our muscles has a memory. So the way I speak my words, my muscles has a memory of speaking like this, because I practice it a lot of time. This is the real practice that everyone must follow for a stuttering. But most of the people follow practice just because someone is asking them to follow. So when I say practices, it must be the muscle practice. So your mouth is a muscle, tongue is a muscle. You should practice properly as per the word. The next concept is a ear practice and a eyes practice. It is very interesting concept. So let me help you with some example. Let's take an example of a person who can't who are unable to listen to the words from childhood. what will happen? The chances are the person can't utter the same sound through the mouth, and this happen with most of the people. It means when you are unable to listen to the specific sound, it is impossible for you to speak the word also. So the best example is, if you are speaking English and you heard the Japanese word for the first time, the chances are you stutter, or it is difficult for you to pronounce it the same way the local Japanese people can speak. You stammer or you stutter there. It means when you hide your words, the memory, the listening memory is less with that, but when you repeat the word, the memory of listening improve. The last concept is with your eyes. You have very less memory about to face the word. It means you go outside and you hide the word, the chances are your memory is limited with those words about you are speaking in front of someone. It means your eyes has a memory, because most of the memory is visual memory. We can able to remember the past through the visual concept. So this is something I teach people, the technique called as a body language. So let's take an example. The way I'm speaking now, you can see my body language. My words are flowing through my body. My neck is moving continuously, my smile is there, my expressions are coming, my hand is having automatic pattern. This is the automatic pattern that I have. This pattern is helping me to speak without stuttering, without having a single word as a stuttering issue. And this happened because of body language, the concept called as the breathing exercises. So the way I am speaking, my speed might be very high as compared to your speed, but I know how to manage those speed because I know how to manage my breathing. So most of the people, they follow shallow breathing, they follow coastal breathing, but this is the breathing that you must avoid, because when you put a pressure on your chest, you are unable to enjoy your speech. But when you make that breathing, deep breathing, you can able to enjoy your speech. So breathing exercises are different, body language concept are different, blockage techniques are there, foundation techniques are there, M2E2 techniques is there, express impress is there, visualization technique is there. There are a lot of techniques that people must understand, because all these techniques, when you practice and when you interconnected all the techniques, it creates a code of fluency. Why I teach all this technique, the reason is because you must know the all the solution behind those small problems. Because let's take an example, if you are doing reading practices from, let's say, from last 6 months, your muscles will improve, your mouth muscle will improve, and you can able to speak. When you stretch your muscles, the reading practice will help you. But what happen when you have a doubt in your mind? You, these muscles will not help you there. You must know how to manage your doubts. So those tiny important techniques are there which will help you to change the pattern. So I showed you the pattern, that this is the line of fluency, this is the line of stammering. So those pattern, when you know the technique there, you can easily make it fluent pattern there. So this is the technique that I help people to get them the knowledge. My
So
team help
we
them with
are
the.
going to actually um thank you for your time, sharing your techniques, and we are going to open the floor up for comments and questions that we might have for you. So I am going to ask, does anybody have any comments or questions that you would like to ask Amkush?
Yes.
Yes, so you can ask.
Michael O'Shea, just one question. Excellent presentation. I mean to say, like, you've got a lot of stuff in there. I mean to say, like, I've heard all of this stuff before. It's going back hundreds of years, what you're talking about, but you have put it into your own formula. I mean to
Thank you.
say, well done on that. But just about what you were saying about reading, right? When I was a child and I was reading on my own, in my room at home in my own house, I did not stutter. I'm in my room, I'm 10 years of age, and I did not stutter. I'd see the handle moving on my bedroom door. Don't know who's at the other side of the door. I would stutter. From that point on, I will stutter until the door opens and I see, is it my mother? Is it my father? Or is it my sister? If it's my mother, my father, or my sister, I will not stutter. If it's
Mhm.
anybody else, I will stutter. What is the problem with the pattern there? I'm in my room,
I
no
got
stutter.
it.
Okay.
So I'm not expert in this behavior concept, but what I observe with my client is there is a specific pattern associated with some actions. So let's take my example. When I see my father, I experience my breathing change. I experience the anxiety, and it was happening from my childhood. Still, it happens. I speak over a stage. I uh, I speak in front of many people. I speak very fluent. But when I see my father, I still have my heartbeat increases. I don't know why it is happening. Might be the reason that it is the behavior that installed in my subconscious mind by default, and still I'm looking for the answer. And I'm not sure about your behavior about the stuttering here, but I can see it is all connected with some action, and when your mind see the action, it clicks the signal, and that signal leads to the default pattern. So
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
say you play two patterns.
yeah.
You have a two pattern. One is a default pattern. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You're absolutely right in what you said. At 8 years of age, I was looking for what was the trigger. The trigger was behind the door, but yet I didn't know what the trigger was. So that caused confusion. The next stage after confusion is panic. And you explained it well. I mean, to say like the output that you're talking about is right on the money. Okay, our first output is verbal chaos. Our second output is verbal panic. And our third output is verbal stress. Those happens in a moment. And then we have three outputs. And you only mentioned one of them. You mentioned anxiety. But have you any idea what the three verbal or parts of anxiety are? And they are three components. And they're all linked because they happen boom, boom, boom. Yeah, well, I'll tell you. Verbal anxiety is by three. Anticipatory anxiety. You anticipate stuttering even before you hit the stage, before you hit the speaking situation, you anticipate stuttering.
Right.
It happens. That's in the moment anxiety. When everything locks up, everything, the whole speaking function locks up. And then you have post anxiety. Post anxiety is what your memory, your
Mhm.
mind memory, because stuttering is a mind body experience.
Right.
It's not a body mind experience, it's a mind body experience. So, there's just one question I wanted to ask you. And you said that if somebody makes an inquiry, you filter them first. How do you filter them?
I filter them with the form first. So when they submit the form, we follow specific questions. When they submit the question, my team member will call them or connect with them through WhatsApp or through call, and ask them the questions again to make sure that the questions are filled properly. And through them, I uh, accept only those people who are action takers. So I have a group where people join in those group, and they follow my videos, the free video courses. So when they complete specific tasks, I think they are serious people to join, and I ask them to join if they are interested. So why I'm doing this? Because I find in India also, in every country, people are there, they show like they are interested to overcome, but when it times to take action, they always have the reason behind it, that why they don't want to do it now. And when I claim there is a result in 21 days only, and it is me who plays the concept of a guaranteed result without any hidden condition, then I think it is up to me that whom I should work directly, because when that person don't get the specific result, people will find that this person is telling lies, or this person is spreading something which is not acceptable. So I, from last 6 year, I'm trying to filter those people who are not action takers. So this is my mindset behind it.
Yeah. And after 21 days, like, what is the process? What are you looking for in that person where they've reached the cure stage at 21 days? I mean, to say 21 days from a lifetime of stuttering and to be able to find a cure in 21 days, I mean, to say like that's absolutely amazing. And the best of luck to you, because if you have come up with the formula, if the formula works in 21 days, you will become a very, very rich man very, very quickly.
No, so this formula doesn't work in just 21 days. In first 21 days, I will explain you everything. Everything, all the codes, all the functions, all the techniques, you will learn everything. When you learn everything, my team will help you with the practices and implementation. They will help you with to overcome the fear of speaking and everything, the anxiety. Still the anxiety is there, but we provide them some more time after 21 days with our support, and the remaining 10% or 5% or 15% inside them, they overcome it through their self experience in real life. And when I say the concept of cure, for me, for them, people takes minimum 3 months to 6 months to reach to the level where they are comfortable in almost all the situation, that they are speaking very good, they are comfortable, there is no resistance for blockages, the breathing is normal. So when they experience, they personally message us that now they are speaking very freely, they are enjoying the speech freedom. So the
Yeah.
process is 21 days, then the 66 days, and then the 180 days.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's, I mean, to say that makes sense. That makes sense because you're giving them the time to accumulate the verbal evidence to
Yes.
bring it to stressful situations that it works. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Um,
also, so can I share with you my point of view when you said anticipate your anxiety before you speak? So the concept here, I explain the concept called as a mind script to my client. The concept will work like this: when you anticipate your anxiety or the blockage word before even you start, it means your mind is going in a future. You are in a present moment, but your mind is going in a future, thinking about the word as a danger word or as a difficult word to speak. So from this moment till the moment you speak the word, it is increasing the anxiety of
Mm.
speaking. But when you make sure that you don't think about the next word and you only follow the current word of speaking, you make sure that you are consciously speaking every word. I called it as a meditation of speaking. Every word you are able to control, you know this word, you are fully control, you are fully focused on this current moment itself, then the chances are that this next word will not come in your mind till the right moment will come. And this will help to overcome the process of anticipating the anxiety before you speak.
Yeah. Let me explain something. When my eldest child was born, 5 minutes after he was born, I was asked what was his name, and I couldn't say it. And it all got caught up. Within another 5 minutes, I was anticipating avoiding his wedding speech, which was 24 years later. Now, he's only born, My mindset and mentality was, how will I avoid his wedding speech 24 years later? That is the mindset and mentality of a stutterer. That is the hardest thing to shift in a personal verbal difference. And stuttering is complex. And the reason that stuttering is complex is that people are complex. Why are people complex? There's 80 million people in the world who stutter. Why are they complex? Because cultures are complex. We're all born with the heart, which is similar, a brain, which is similar, hands, gestures, everything is similar. But the reality of life in the moment, in the now, if we could all speak in the now, the way I'm speaking now, if I could replicate that in the now, every now that I speak, I would never have stuttered. And that's where the issue is. But I have to say to you that I've heard hundreds of people make presentations on stuttering. And you are definitely on the right lines. And technology is going to play a big, big part in it. And I wish you all the best with it.
Thank you.
But it's going to be a hard sell. Stuttering, you're dealing with the most skeptical mind that you could deal with in a person who stutters.
Yeah, I know.
They need the proof.
So do we have any other questions or